So this is all there is. This is really, it's difficult. It's a kind of difficult word, of a simple word for something that you can't express. So they're saying this, but how can you tell what is everything? There are no words for everything. Everything is, you can't say. It changes. So this is a meeting about non-duality and about nothing. This doesn't go anywhere. That's strange because most meetings are about understanding and about a message that you can hear, and if there's an opening, then there will be something happening. There's nothing happening, and there seems to be a lot of things going on, but there's no one. So there's also no one inside. No one, that means it's not someone in, that there's a body with no one inside. The body is also not real. Everything is an appearance. So there's nothing. This is not Rose talking. There's nothing speaking or talking. And it's already like that. So there's nothing special about this phase or what we call Rose. It's everywhere. It's like a face. There can be a face and there can be talking, and that's nothing speaking. And it seems like there's a person in that body, and there's that body, and there's is its own voice and is its own body, and that's what we assume when there's me. When there's me, there's always that feeling like I'm here. This is somewhere, there's something gone wrong. I'm not good enough. There's something not right yet or something. So that's coloring everything. So there seems to be right and wrong. And there's a drive, an energy going to make it right. And that's so embodied. That's can be very strong, very subtle maybe. But that me, you could say, is the feeling or the belief that there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong. It's a misunderstanding, but it's what I said. It's a misunderstanding that's so embodied. You can't think yourself out of it. That what's happening is already complete. That's the joy. It's already freedom. That's amazing because we are so looking for freedom or unconditional love or something like peace or happiness. When there's that feeling, there's something not right and there's going on, and I'm looking for the whole or looking for freedom or unconditional love. Everything seems solid and real. So the story seems real. So, and the circumstances and my body. So there's looking in the story for an answer to make it right or to find the right person, right lover, or find having enough money or have power or maybe peace always, something like that. And it's trying to find it for always. There is no always. There's no time. So that what's happening is singular. There's no before, there's no after. Time is a construct. That's from people that the brain can abstract. And that can be nice because we can see from here till there and we can make things up. But it's also a construct. It's also the suffering because there seems to be something going on for me. Me seems to be the center of everything what's happening. Everything seems to happen to myself or to other people. And we have to make it right. There's a lot of things going on trying to make it right. There are a lot of ideas and beliefs how to do that and one thinks this and one thinks that. So it's an endless searching, and there's nothing happening. There's this, there's no time, so there's no continuation. There's no before or after. There's no consequences or reason for anything, or even there's no meaning. That what is happening is exactly that, complete as it is. A glass of water, a feeling, a sensation. It's not somewhere, it's not happening to someone, it's somewhere in space. It's that what is happening. It's not yours, it's not mine, it's what is happening. So that's the freedom. There's no one, there's nothing inside, there's no inside, there's no outside. That's what we can abstract, what we can understand. This is really very, very literally and simple. It's so simple we can't even understand, because it can be an understanding, but it's so simple. We are so used to complication and making it into something, giving it a meaning, giving it a purpose, having purpose, the meaning of life, all that. Looking for something. When there's the story of me and I'm here and I'm looking for that freedom, what we're talking about, or maybe no me anymore, something like that. There's always, it's looking into that, how can I do that? Or what can I not do, or all that. And this is not about doing or not doing. It's completely out of the story. It has nothing to do with you. That's crazy, because we only can imagine how can I do? What can I understand? What can I not do? Or maybe anything like that. And it's has nothing to do with the story, because there's no you. So that belief, or that embodied belief that there's someone doing that and having a free will in a certain way, it's energetic. It's a belief, an embodied belief, which can be very strong or subtle, and it doesn't matter. When that's going on, then that's what's going on. It's energetic. So there's nothing right or wrong with anything. It's already complete as it is. And that coloring, that idea that we are not right yet, or there's something missing, or that is a misunderstanding. But it feels so true in that way when there's the story and you see it in circumstances and all that, and the way that the brain is or that thinking is happening. And then hearing that nothing is real, there's only an appearance. So even the body is an appearance. It's crazy. This talking is crazy, but it's the same. It's not even a message. It's a sharing of what's very obvious here. And there can be speaking about it, there can be a sharing, there can be asking questions. This is not about believing what's being said here. It doesn't matter. When there's not agreeing or not believing it, then that's what's going on. And we can talk about that maybe. We'll see. It's already complete as it is. That's amazing, because we can't even imagine how there will be that everything is complete, because we have an idea about complete. That's kind of perfection in a certain way. Complete as it is exactly that. That face, that walking, that being like this, maybe. It doesn't matter. It's that. It's unique. It's new. It's that what's happening. There are no rules. There's nothing better than something else. It's what it is. This is so, so simple and ordinary. So we can talk about that, and maybe there are questions, maybe there's a sharing, maybe there's nothing going on. So if you want to say something, you can unmute yourself and you start talking, or maybe you want to type it. That's okay. And I also want to say this Rose is not a knowing. There's no knowing about certain knowing about how everything is. There's nothing. There's no knowing at all. It's something arises and they're speaking. And it's the same like everywhere. So this is not a special person. There is even no Roes, because we assume that, and that's for everyone, that in this body I'm here and there's a past and there's something happening and all that. And there is no past. This is everything, that phase, and they're speaking, and that's it. There's no knowing. There's nothing. And there's a phase arising. Yeah, then there's a phase. Hmm. There can be clarity. There can be an explanation. But it doesn't matter if there's an understanding or not, or if that's a clarity happening. It's a cup of tea. It's a watch. It's a sensation somewhere. There's nothing to understand. But when there's trying to understand that, then that's what's happening. There's nothing wrong or right with that too, of course. It's it's not someone doing that. It's what is happening, apparently. It's energetic. Everything is energetic. It's just going without someone in it. There's no choice. And as somebody said, it still feels that that tension is in the body. There can be tension. And the conclusion, because we are believing that the body is real, everything is happening inside this body, and it's my body or this body maybe. There can be tension. Tension happens. Everything can happen. This is not like when there's no me anymore, like that story, and then there will be no tension anymore, or there will be a feeling of freedom or something like that. No, it's very normal. Everything is very normal. The only thing what's lost, and in a way that's also huge, is that idea or that belief that there's something wrong or right. It's what it is. That's the simplicity. And there's the ability, that seemingly ability, what we have that ability to try to change something or someone. That's completely lost, that belief, that there's nothing going on trying to change. It's full on. But it was already full on. But the idea that it should be different, that's lost. It's tension. There's nothing right or wrong with tension. It's not even that. That's unconditional love. Tensioning. It's that sensation. It's unconditional love. That's life. And there can be a table. It's life too. Tabling. Tension. It's that sensation. That's life. Aliveness. Everything is singular. That's and complete as it is. And they're saying there's still something like I have to work on something. Yeah, there can be so many ideas. We are so full of concepts and beliefs and ideas about how to behave, how to deal with everything in the world, how to survive in a way in the end. This me is a survival system, and there are a lot of ideas how to do that. With there can be health, and there can be money issues, there can be relation, in all kind of ways. We have to survive and have to make it in a certain way so we feel good. Because in the end, it's about feeling good and not feeling pain or stress or anything. Life is everything, and there's no one. It's not even a real world. Where's the world? There's no real world. What is work? Work is an idea about what's going on. It's a story. There's exactly this, what is happening. That's the crazy, simple thing. It's sitting. There's a computer. Yeah, that's what's happening. Maybe typing. We call it work. Yeah, we can. And there's money. And that's also a lot of ideas about money and about when there's no money, I won't survive and I don't have any concept, do anything. There are a lot of ideas about money that makes things happen. It's, it's energy. There's nothing going on. There's no someone that needs to survive. It's what is happening. It can be anything. There can be hunger or I don't know. This is not talking about a good life. It's only a sharing of, it's saying it's what it is already, and it's complete in itself. It's singular. It's not because of anything. There's no meaning in anything. It's exactly what it is. That, and then that, and not for anyone, not to anyone. There is no one. We are so used to trying to work it out, trying to do something with it, trying to understand, trying to make it happen and all that. It's the loss of all that. And that's crazy because we think like when we don't do that, when there's no control or activity or all that, then everything goes wrong. It's not about sitting still because that or not doing nothing. That's also something doing. There's no one. So it's already that what is happening. And the strange thing is, when everything is lost and there's nothing going on, like trying to change it and all that, it's suddenly like, oh, it's tension. Oh, it's already that. Well, that's amazing. You can't even tell people because people look at you like, yeah, tension. I don't want tension. It's that. So this is so completely out of the story. Yeah. Yeah. Then the thinking that there's a story behind the tension. And we're so living in time. That's so the normal way. You could say it's so embodied. I could say that in the story. And then it's just not even thinking about that it's because of this, it's because of you, it's because of my childhood, it's because of all that. And hearing there's no because, that's nothing in your hands. There's no reason, there's no, you can't blame anything or anyone. It's, there's not being busy with anything. How can it be right? It's not right or wrong, it's what it is. And that's amazing. This is energetic. It's not about understand. There can be an understanding maybe or not, and you don't understand and you can't even figure it out and all that. It doesn't need to. And that's crazy because we're not used to live like that. And somewhere, and being in this meeting, that there's somewhere there's a resonance, something is going on. That has nothing to do with you. Yeah. Mm. This is about loss, the loss of beliefs and concepts. There's so many beliefs and concepts. And a lot of beliefs. There can be some beliefs that are not so strong anymore, or concepts. Sometimes it's not even noticed. Sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, I was very convinced, but I'm not sure yet anymore. So there's something going on, and there can be a feeling of that that being sure about things and not even noticing that you're sure, but that belief that everything is like that, and when that's not that sure anymore, and it's a bit like shaky and not knowing what's real and what's not real and all that, it can be a feeling of a loss of that safety or that structure or that control. And then that can happen, that what I see a lot is that I think, yeah, everything is just what's happening, and making it into that new way of, I think that I call it non-duality talking. It's just what's happening. It's what it is and all that. No, it's not. It's what it is, or it's what is happening. That's making it into something else. There can be talking about that in those meetings, because how can you describe this? But in just normal daily life, you could say, it's not saying that. No, it's that when there's fear or tension, there's nothing going on about it. It tensions in that way, in how it's going, it's full on. And that's it. There's nothing realizing it or talking about it. It's that tension. And there's a question. There can still be attachment to others. What is attachment? Attachment is in the story. It's even difficult to say what it is. There's so the whole ability to to explain things. I don't even care. What is attachment? There are no others, so there's also no attachment. And then that's it. There can be all kind of ideas and feelings, but it's what it is. So there are no others. There's no me, but it's not only here no me. It's never, there never has been someone, so that's not seeing that. Okay, another one. Hi Rose, not sure if it's an awakening here or descending into madness. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and no, you don't know. And it's crazy because it's nothing is sure. Because that's what we use. So like, is the me now gone or not gone? I don't know. I don't know. There's nothing busy with that. So yeah, and there's a freedom. But a freedom is not like a feeling of freedom. Freedom is like there's everything and nothing is denied. But it's you can't even express or explain how it is. That's crazy. We can talk about it, or we or someone else, and then we'll see what's happening. And there's well, for the rest, yeah, it is crazy. When I was with friends and I was saying there was they bought my book and I was like, oh my god. And then yes, she said, yeah, but you said there's no past. And I was like, yeah, no. And then she walked away like, and we never talked about it again. Yeah, of course. It's crazy in that way. There can be also a lot of ideas about how it will look like when there's no me anymore. It you can't imagine. It's so simple and ordinary. It maybe it can be that that whole being busy with it and not it's not there anymore and it's not even noticed. Mm. So normal.
Rose,
Yeah. Hi.
can you hear me? Because I'm
Yeah.
sitting in a very noisy place.
Yeah.
Uh, I, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm good.
How was Vietnam and everything?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was
No,
good.
it was I was sometimes I was crying because it was
Wow,
overwhelming. It was like that resort was already like, my God, can I stay here? It's just
forever.
amazing. It's like in being in a movie with the beach and with everything was taken care of and a swimming pool and the dinners and all
Wow.
and then we were with a group of people. That's also and then everybody was so it felt like family, real family. Like, oh, yeah, it was
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
nice. I would love to join them. Maybe next time, if they're gonna be a next time. Sorry.
Yeah, you should come. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really
You
yeah.
think they're gonna be a next time or another?
We didn't talk about it. I would really love to because
Yeah, yeah,
it's
sounds
an
like that.
amazing place. Yeah. We can
Nice.
I can talk about with GP.
Yeah.
I don't know yet because he's now
Okay.
away, but we will.
Yeah. You'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what I wrote about the attachment thing, maybe it's
Yeah.
just a label we give to like when there is like a connection with someone else, and
Yeah.
like we stay with that person and not with another person,
Yeah.
like with a friendship or what we call
Mm,
relationship, like,
mm.
and then we like attach. I mean, we don't do it ourselves, right? We just happen to stay in that relationship, right?
But there's no relation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There can be meeting each other in this
Yeah.
a lot of times, or living together and all that. But that doesn't mean there's a relation.
And we give a label. We give the name like this is attachment. This is relationship. Like
Yeah, attachment. It's I think what I can say about it. There's a lot of things going on when there's a relation. There are we say I love someone, it's like personal. So
yeah,
there's a lot of ideas about how someone should behave in order to make that other person happy.
yeah,
That's lost.
yeah. So that's possible. Yeah, 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 I understand.
Yeah.
Because in
And that can,
psychology,
yeah, that it can be a feeling like you're not being busy to make that other person happy. No, there's nothing going on about that. So that can sound a bit strange. But in a
yeah.
way, when there's always being busy trying to make it's a bit like, yeah, I can't say, but
So maybe you can say like in the story there is like attachment, but there's no reason for that. There's no like agenda. There's just like two bodies being together.
yeah, but it's not. There's also no being together in
Yeah.
that
Okay.
way. Well, it's yeah, that's so strange because that's when they're sitting here where there's no one else. It's just this, and there's nothing else. So in that way, no relation is really it's this. It's singular. It's that, and
Yeah.
it's there's nothing going on like later on or something like. Of
Yeah. Yeah.
course, you talk in the story about that and all that, but also when there's two people together of yeah like that, it's of me together like that. It's unconditional. So that when that's something going on, there can be irritation, but it's not. It's so difficult to how to
Yeah.
explain that.
That's why it's a tricky question. Yeah.
There's no there can't be no blaming or trying to that somebody doesn't say that anymore. Like, no, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what will happen. I really don't. But it's not like I don't want to. It's just I really don't. I don't know what's coming out, or it's
No.
energetic. So it has nothing to do with wanting or anything. No, it's energetic like
But
that.
they can still be like like missing that person or like thinking about that person, right? That stays in a way.
There can be sometimes I call it there can be in the story saying, "Oh, I miss you," but it's more like thinking of someone and thinking of that nice moment and then saying in a WhatsApp like, "Oh, I miss you," and then it's gone.
Let's go.
Yeah, but it's just like I saying I love you and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I can see, yeah, also be a romance. I mean, that also can stay, of course.
Yeah, I
Like
don't
romantic
see it.
feeling or whatever. I mean,
What are there like?
like a romantic feeling or like a
No,
romance.
there's no, it's not romance.
It's not.
It's no, that's no. It's what it is. It's just I don't know. It's love. It's unconditional love, and that's suddenly it's like that's saying that, and then that's it, and then there's walking outside. It's just gone.
Yeah,
So there's no relation or low going on with that, or being busy with that, or all that's
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
because relationship or attachment or whatever is such a big thing between people. Such a
Sure,
huge.
it is. And there's a lot of things going on about how to behave in a relationship, how
Yeah, yeah,
to take care, and all that. That's lost. So it
yeah,
seems like, oh, but how can that be? It's amazing that freedom, it's that freedom that's so how do you say that? Then people relax in that. That was in that residential. When there was not so much understanding or so, but there was nothing going on. You should do this. It isn't right this or all that. There was nothing. And it wasn't expressed all the time, but it wasn't going on. So in a certain way, without sometimes I think we even without noticing, there's a relaxation and there's a being together in a very very simple ordinary way, which is what we long for.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it has nothing to do with understanding and all that.
Oh,
We didn't talk about that. No, it was sometimes
yeah.
maybe, but not really.
So it seems like there were relationship between people there, but there wasn't. There weren't.
Yeah, there was nothing going on about how to relate. It was just the simplicity of being together, and there was just talking about the wine, of talking about simple things, not anything. It just doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the same times, that felt like talking about, do you want some wine? It's saying, I love you. And that's how it's going. Yeah. But it's the energetic part. It's not about what you say. It's when
Yeah, I understand.
that's there. It's like, yeah, all the time saying, I love you. And that's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. Thanks. There's another chat. It's like the me seems to get so strong that it's all there is. And then there seems to be these moments where I feel like air or something. Yeah, well, there can be a lot of times in the day already. There's no one. There's not being busy with what's going on with myself and what I want and all that. There's just walking or cooking or sitting or watching television or whatever. And then suddenly that idea comes like, oh, suddenly, and they're being involved with what's going on and all that. Well, it can be also like moments that there's just not, or even that can be not that solid anymore. Can be really, there are a lot of thinking about what's going on, but in a way it's empty. And then when that's being busy with things, and then in the same time it can be like, oh, it's not that solid anymore, not that really serious anymore. I don't know if you mean that, but yeah. So it falls apart a bit. Mm. And that falling apart is not something we can do. And that's what we're so used to try to make things happen. And then suddenly it's just falling apart. It's like there's it felt like I can do and all that, and suddenly it's not something in your hand. It's like sand or air or something like, oh, and that it can feel a bit uncomfortable because that what we normally have, like trying to deal with things, and then suddenly, oh, it's not that serious and can't believe in it anymore so much. And it's like, oh my God, what's going on here? That's the loss that I'm talking about. Yeah. In the falling apart, can it seem like some beliefs get stronger, maybe, as it seems here that maybe these beliefs were hidden before and now they are right in my face? Yeah, it can be like that. Yeah, sure it can. It's suddenly like, my God, yeah, of course, yeah. We have no idea because we think it will be in a certain way, and it's you can't say. It's always in a way you could say it's always different. Yeah, it can be. Some patterns can be stronger too. Yeah, we have so many ideas about how we should be, and then suddenly it's like even stronger that what you don't want to. Life doesn't care about anything in that way. But we are so busy with trying to be in a certain way, and then suddenly, waff. Yeah. Mm. People, I hear people also saying about this, I don't care. And there can be a not caring, but it's not all the way I don't care, because that's making it into something. There's some moments then really I'm really, wow, yeah, I want to win, and I'm doing a game, and I want to. It's not. I don't care if I lose or win. No, I want to win. That it's empty, but I want to win, and that can be something else. It's empty, but there's really like that. So saying all the time, I don't care. It's making it into something else because it's everything. It's full on, like a child, or maybe I don't know. Well, it's everything. There can be what I sometimes say, I don't care, is what about some things that will be different or important, or there's about understanding or explanation. I don't care about explanation. I no, I'm not interested. So that can be in a different way. There's not, there are no rules. There are no, like, it's always like not caring, or it's always like that. No, it's never that. It's 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 a surprise what happens, what comes out, could say, in a way. And it's also like when there are beliefs or maybe a kind of behaving in a certain way, it doesn't matter. And when there's living in the story, it seems to matter because you think like, not you special, but there can be like, when that belief is gone, then there will be maybe no me anymore or freedom or anything. It has nothing to do with that. When there's that belief, there can be that belief for it's only for that moment, and then it's not the whole day every day. There is no whole day. There's no always. So that can be there, and then it's gone, and there's the table. So it's not important at all. So there can be being busy with that, but it's being busy with nothing because it's already gone. So there's nothing important to be busy with. And that's crazy because we normally are so busy with ourselves and how to behave, and maybe that isn't that I was always busy with I'm not quiet enough and more peaceful and resting and not that fiery and all that. It's being busy with something that there's no you can't you can't change. It's impossible. There's no one already. So they're being busy trying to change it. It's just trying to catch air. It's just nothing. But we're so convinced in that. And that's what's can be less. And that's what's called the loss. Not the beliefs, or there can be, I don't know how that's going, or there can be behaving in a certain way that still can happen. I don't know. I'm not busy with that. It's not interested in. Yeah. And that's not only here, but it's also with other people, you could say. So that's the relaxation, and that's the unconditional part of the unconditional love. There's not being busy with how people should behave or should do or think or anything. It's just what's happening. And there can be irritation, then that's maybe expressed or not expressed. Then that's what's going. Yeah, that's it. So in that way, is living in love, but not mine, but it is already, and it has nothing to do with other people. That body and that speaking is also nothing speaking, and that's unconditional love too, of course. Mm. Oh, I have beliefs like I'm boring or that I don't deserve others' attention that makes me repeat some habits like staying in a cafe every morning to look people talking and feel better than alone at home. But in the same time, the belief becomes even stronger and I feel very sad. That pattern is repeating itself since 15 years. What's the meaning of such a story? Not 25, 4 hours a day, but once every morning. It's not interesting, but I would really stop feeling shameful. That belief that you're not good enough, that can is the strongest of everything. It's I think everyone has that in a certain way, that feeling of there's I'm not good enough or I'm boring or I don't, what you say, I don't deserve others' attention, or I'm not good enough in the end. And that's what it's everywhere. It's not you're the only one. It's just everywhere. And some people are doing something. Everybody does something else with it, trying to prove I'm really strong and I'm really can make my life work and being very successful. And it seems like, oh, those people don't have that. It's the same story. It's everywhere the same story about I'm not good enough and how can I make it right? And there are all kind of ways, and that's energetic. So it has nothing to do with you how that story is going. That when they're sitting in a cafe in the morning, then that's what's happening. There's nothing right or wrong with that. It's not less than somebody who goes to his work. It's the same story. It's just that circumstances can be that, or watching television or whatever. We have so many ideas about what should be done and what's better to do and all that. There is no one. So that story, what circumstance, what seems to happen, then that's what is happening. There's nothing right or wrong with sitting in a cafe or watching television or I don't know, anything, going to work. It's the same, it's a story, and it seems circumstances are there and they happen to me. No, it's not happening to you. It's that circumstance. There can be a cafe, or there can be a wall, or there can be a wood. It's the same. It's energy. It's not the woods are better than a cafe or all those story about health and all that. It's the construct about how to feel better about yourself and maybe knowing that's better than something else. There is no better. There is no better or worse. So that idea that there's can be that stronger idea that I'm not good enough can be stronger when that it's just what what we talked about there when there's a loss of all those ideas to make things happen and to make it better and all that, and suddenly that what we talked before, some beliefs can get stronger, or even it's not stronger but it's more in the face, and then that's what's being more obvious. And sometimes it can be that feeling about it, like shame or sadness, can also be stronger. This is not about feeling better after a while. It can be worse in a way. And that's what we don't expect. Because that all those ideas trying to hide or trying to make it into something else, that can fall away. And then suddenly that sadness or that shame or whatever feeling is there can be stronger. There's nothing right or wrong with that too. It's what is happening, and it's not even happening to you. It's that feeling can be there. It's energy going on. It has nothing to do with you. And that's so strange because we so normally see ourselves in this body and in this life. It's that feeling. It's energy going in a certain way. Coffee, a feeling, walking. It's singular. So there's no story. There's no continuation. There's drinking coffee. There's a shame. There's that feeling, maybe shame, that sensation. There can be anything, but it's singular. It's not a story, and we are used to make a story of it. Everything is singular. There can be any feeling, maybe shame, but it's not that. That's not happening here. It's like, but there can be a sensation of getting warm, or I don't know, uh, any sensation, and we make it into, oh, this is, I'm feeling like that. That sensation is it. Maybe you don't know what it exactly is, but that sensation is it. It's life. It's life happening. This is not about feeling good. Can be feel there can be mixed feelings also. Like there's a feeling and you don't even know what it is, and it's a bit like that. Yeah, still goes on. Yeah, and the circumstances are circumstances. There's no meaning in it at all. There's no life of that person or this person. There's, like I'm saying, there's no Rose, so there's no life of Rose. So circumstances are random, are a table or a garden or that's it. There's no life of Rose. So there's nothing going on like I should maybe more working or more this or that. I can't even. You can't. It's that circumstance. It's like that energy. It's like, oh, it's this energy. Oh, it's that it's wall. Oh, it's that. Without meaning. It's not about this is my life in this no. It's oh, sitting at the table. Oh, other people. Yeah. So it's life full on in that way. So there's nothing right or wrong with anything. That's the belief that we can have about it should be in a certain way, because that's what can be so embodied. It should be in a certain way. No, it's already complete as it is. That's unconditional love cafeing. Oh, really, really. Hmm. There's no one doing that. There's no one. And there's somebody say, it looked like I'm not so open this morning. There's no one. There can be a sensation somewhere. Then that's what's happening. Yeah. Tension or whatever. Yeah. There's no one. There's no one. There's no one inside. This is not your life, my life. There's nothing going on. And there seems to be bodies and tables and walls.
I've got an amazing view here.
What you got?
An amazing view here.
Ah.
but it's, we're not.
Yeah, it can be sadness. It's not your sadness. It's not for a reason. That's sadness. That's aliveness. It's life. That that sadnessing. It's that feeling. It's aliveness. There's nothing right or wrong with anything. So sadness can be there. Tears. Yeah.
But it's such a strong belief, like I'm doing my emotion, isn't it?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's the hardest belief because it feels like so like it's my emotions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's you're not the only one, of course. Yeah, because we feel like the body is mine. So that what's the thinking is my thinking and my thoughts and my feeling. Yeah. And there can be a hearing of this. And when it happens, it's suddenly it's very strong. It's my feeling. It's not even thought about. It's just your feeling. Yeah. Yeah.
And because it's my emotion, I can do something about it or change them or control them. But at the same time, like if I feel like whatever, sad or whatever, then I can do some small thing to change it, like to go to the beach and walk, and then it will change again. But nobody's doing that, right? Nobody's deciding to go to the cafe or to go to the beach or
No.
no.
No. No. It's energy. So then this is it's like it's new. So how can you say it? It's like, oh, this is the circumstance. Oh, this is circumstance. Oh, this is
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like that. And it's not for someone. It's not to someone. It's live,
yeah. And
live.
and like she described, like I'm going to the cafe, and that it's happening by itself, and then there is a story on the top of it, like,
Yeah,
oh, I've been sitting in the cafe and I'm
yeah,
feeling
yeah,
shame, or yeah, that's a story in the
yeah.
top on the top of
On
just
top
sitting
of
and drinking
that,
a
yeah,
coffee.
because we
Yeah,
think we are
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah,
convinced that I am here and it's my life, and yeah,
yeah.
and it's
It's so
new.
strange. It's like
There is no my life. It's new that and then that's going on. It's just there's no before.
it's such a strange phenomena. It's like there's just really what's happening, and on the top of it, there's something else. It's like in a story, it's like double, and yeah,
When there's me, there's also looking at yourself, that
yes, yes,
awareness
yes, yes,
going on,
yes,
and looking at yourself, and then there's that divider from like this is right or wrong, and because the brain can abstract, so it can think in time. So already so long I'm doing this and all that, and that story, that dream story, because it's not real, but it's so can be all those thoughts. Amazing how does it happen? But it can be
yeah,
so strong, that belief about yourself and what's going on. It's a dream. It's like you can be really involved in it, and then something happens outside, and buff, it's gone. It's just
yeah,
gone. It's amazing, but it can be so convincing, and it's yeah. Well, everybody knows in a way,
yes,
and then
yes, yes,
hearing, oh, it's just a dream, but it's when it's coming. It's so it feels like oh, it's about me, and you're involved, and it's sticky in that way. And that's
yeah,
what can be lost. That sometimes it's less sticky, but sometimes it's more and more and more and more. It's always it's how do you say it's different. So for each one in a way in the story,
yeah,
it this it's different how it's going. Can be stronger, of course. Yeah, sure. And then so they're all already like going, it's not my feeling, and can be very strong. And then suddenly, ruff, it's again, and it's even stronger than ever. It can be like that too. Of course, yeah. There are no rules.
But it feels very different, like when there is a me and then there is no me. It feels really, like because I can sometimes have like this tremendous sadness or grief or whatever, and like it's all okay. And
Mm.
sometimes there's a story and the stickiness come back, and it's so strange.
Yeah. 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 Well, that's the energetic part. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes it's like it's meing and being, and then suddenly that me is coming back and having the story about it and very sticky and involved and that really, and then suddenly it's gone again. Yeah.
It's obvious like I can't choose like
No.
yeah, I can't
But
choose it.
there's nothing wrong with it too. That's
Yeah.
what we think, like, oh, I'm still in the story. I'm in the story again. No, you're not in the story again. There is a story going on. It's energetic, but it's not you doing it. There's nothing gone wrong. It's energetic. So that's how it goes. What we are so into, like, when, because that's me, is feeling like there's something not right. Because when there's being in these meetings, it seems like, yeah, me is a little bit wrong in a way because I want not me anymore. I want all that. No, that when that story is there, it's what's happening. What it's in a way it's easy to say, but what when you're in the story, it doesn't feel like that. I hear that too, of course. Yeah,
Yeah, because like in the story there's good and bad. So if I feel like sad, it's not good, it's bad, and I can change that, and the stickiness of the me come back, and like there's something I have to do to change that. And
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That right and wrong can be so strong, and it can be a clarity about that. But suddenly there's coming into that. There's something happening, and it's completely there again. Yeah, yeah. When there's something going on, like really heavy or really like threatening in a way, in that feeling, like there can be that me can be suddenly come up and being very strong, trying to survive and trying to have the control back and all that. Yeah, yeah. But it's energetic, so there's nothing gone wrong, but it can feel like that because that's can be so strong. Mm.
I had that moment yesterday very strong where I felt like the story came back and there was a lot of emotion around that, and I was going a little bit in circles, but it feels like it's getting less and less. Even like the emotions of, I mean, there was a period of time where like everything came up very strongly because I think everybody, it was just allowed to be there. There was no controlling anymore. So there was a lot of sadness, a lot of grief, and a lot of anger. And now sometimes when it's come back, it's even if it's very, very strong, like there is more softness around that. So, yeah.
Ah, yeah. Mm.
Or no, yeah, it's not trying to do anything with it, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could say that it's a loss of that trying, of that. It's
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
energy is
yeah.
not that strong
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sure. Yeah. Mm.
It's so beautiful to share about that and to talk about that because it's so solid to people to talk and share. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know. Hmm.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Mm. There's somebody saying, I love to hear that there's no way of living. Yeah, yeah. That's the freedom. Oh, before I forget, next week I will be in Prague. There will be a live meeting in Prague, so there will be no Zoom meeting in Saturday. Mhm. And the Friday. I'm flying to Prague, yeah. Mhm. So that's again a live meeting. So if you want to be in a live meeting, that's the opportunity.
Have you been there before?
In Prague,
Yes.
yeah, one day I was there a long time ago. So not really.
Not really. I'm curious about the food in Eastern Europe.
The food.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, Prague is lovely. Have a nice trip and enjoy. Thanks. Mm. Circumstances are not real. Nothing is real. It's an appearance of what's going on. So everything is an appearance. Tables, streets, bodies, feelings. Nothing is real. It's only apparently real. So there's nothing happening. And there's also no one. When there's nothing, there's no one. So we can abstract. So in the brain, there can be like understanding and making it into something. Because when there's that understanding and that abstracting life, like when there's a 2-year-old or 3, then suddenly there's an understanding of abstracting and time and distance. So then suddenly there can be that moment that everything seems more real and solid, and then there's that feeling of separation. I'm here and there's someone over there, and there's the story is starting. So, and then there's suddenly coming in that feeling that I am here and I have a free will and choice. That's also getting more and more stronger. It's a story, it's a dream. It's not real. It's that whole dream of me is going on. Like there's something happening and I'm in the story and I have to make my life work. Nothing is real. There's nothing happening. There's only an appearance of energy. Can be cafes or table or streets or woods. It's that. There's no meaning in anything. There's no meaning in the story. In some circumstances, there's no right and wrong. There's no better and worse. That's only in the story of abstracting and being busy, because there's subtly or stronger in the story a feeling that there's something gone wrong and I can and have to make it right. I can make it right and I have my free will and choice to make that happen. It's a dream. It's a whole dream. There never was control or the ability or free will. There never was me. But there's a lot of being busy with that and thinking that it's my story and I have to do that and it's because of me and all that. And in the same time, and that dream story is going on. And at the same time, there's circumstances and energy and feelings and all that. It's just singular. Everything is singular. It has nothing to do with the story. It has nothing to do with me. It's what it is already. And there's nothing wrong with being in the story and all that. There can be a lot of ideas. Then that's what's going on. But when there's being in the story, that suddenly or stronger can be a feeling of there's something wrong with it. I want something else. It should be different and maybe someday and all that. Because that's part of that survival system, that that belief that there's something wrong. There's something gone wrong. I'm not good enough. All that is part of that me story. It's a misunderstanding, but it's so embodied and so feels so real, and that's the way it is. And then there's hearing this. It has nothing to do with the story. It's another possibility, completely out of the story. There is no me already. So me is the story of all that and the dream of what's going on. There is no me already. There is what is happening without meaning, without purpose. There's no need for anything because it's already complete as it is. It's exactly that. A sensation, a table, a feeling, a wall, coffee. It's that singular. It's that. It's unconditional. There are no rules. There are no conditions. It's what it is. That's energy is going. It's like that. And it's already unconditional love. There's no one. It's not happening to someone. It's not happening for someone. There is only unconditional love. Everything is that. Doesn't mean it's nice when there's unconditional. It's everything. It's already everything. It's already complete. Thank you. Thank you. Mm. Mm.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
all
Rose.
hands. Wait, I wait there.